Experiment series version 2.0. We're starting a new series, guys. We're gonna do things a little differently, make the videos a little bit more concise. We're gonna go through my phases of dieting just like we did in 2014. So as many of you know, I ended my last phase or my experiment series with a ketogenic diet, the medical keto, in conjunction with the Anavar cycle, which was 37.5 milligrams. That was that, and since then, the last 10 weeks, I've been on my normal TRT, my 200 milligrams of testosterone, my 2 IUs of growth, and I've actually gotten better results, in my opinion, at leaning out. I feel better overall health-wise, my blood works better since the ketogenic Anavar cycle. So we will show my starting point pictures, obviously, at the end of this video as well. But let's go over my regimented, calculated diet that I'm doing right now. So, meal one, backtrack. We wake up at 6 a.m. My wife and I do bleachers at the high school. So we run bleachers for just 15 minutes. So we run up the bleachers, then obviously walk down slowly, run up, so it's intervals. 15 minutes, come home. Meal one is 10 ounces of tilapia and then a vegetable, either broccoli or Brussels sprouts, and a piece of fat-free Kraft single cheese. And I'll tell you why I'm doing that in a moment. After that, we have 2 scoops of whey isolate from True Nutrition and 1 cup of egg white. So that's 75 grams of protein down the hatch. That's done. We repeat this again for meal 3 right before training. Instead of 75 grams of protein, we take out the egg whites and just do 2 scoops of whey isolate, fast digesting amino acids from the protein, getting ready for my pre-workout. Now, I'm gonna take you over to my intra-workout concoction. We do 1 scoop of Celluvol, obviously MPA Celluvol, which has the citrulline, nitrosogene, etc., etc. We do also D-ribose in this pre-drink, and I do 30 grams of Vitargo in this pre-drink as well. Then I have my intra-drink already made. That's comprised of 3 scoops of farm grade, which is the essential EAAs from Ajinomoto and phosphatidic acid, the Mediator trademark, and 20 grams of glutamine in conjunction with 2 more scoops of Vitargo, bringing it to 70 grams. So that's 30 grams of carbs pre-workout, 70 during, that's 100 grams of carbs. Now, also, which I mentioned here and there in Instagram posts, I will do insulin occasionally. I don't do it every day. I do it about maybe 4 times a week. And I will do fast-acting insulin, which is Apidra, which is similar to Humalog, similar to Novolog, Novo Rapid. Apidra is actually maybe a little bit faster than Humalog, and all I do, guys, is maybe about 6 to 8 units, maybe, to coincide with the drink. My only carbohydrates of the day is in the drink, so I use the insulin, obviously, to take stress off my pancreas, to shuttle all the pharmaceutical-grade amino acids, all those essential nutrients to the muscle cells. The insulin does its thing. I drop back into my low blood sugar right after the workout, so about 2 to 3 hours, I'm good to go. So after the workout, then I immediately do 1 scoop of Ribavol, which is 10 grams of creatine, 5 grams of leucine, has also 10 grams of cluster dextrin. Then, 20 minutes after that, I do another 75 gram True Nutrition whey isolate shake. And I actually use a custom blend, which is micellar casein, egg white, and whey isolate. So it's the percentage, I believe, top of my head, I can't remember, but it's mostly whey isolate, like 70%, then 15% egg white and 15% micellar casein. That's the blend that I personally like. Lemon cake's phenomenal. And also, what is it? The fudge brownie is also very, very good.
Don't eat my lemon cake.
I won't eat your lemon cake. After that meal, we have a food meal. Now it's back to the same meal of 10 ounces of tilapia, 1 piece of fat-free Kraft single, and a vegetable. Here's chopped broccoli. Moving on after that meal, we have 10 ounces of chicken breast, Brussels sprouts here, and 1 slice of fat-free Kraft single cheese. Final meal of the night is an egg white omelet. So it's 2 cups of egg whites, onions, broccoli, or whatever vegetable I want, maybe mushrooms, and of course a 1/2 cup of fat-free shredded cheese. Now, my condiments, right now my condiments are the Heinz Carolina Tangy Barbecue Sauce. So yes, there is sugar in here. There's about 8 grams of sugar per tablespoon. Sugar-free.
How much are you using?
I'm using about a tablespoon. I'm drizzling it lightly. Honey mustard, of course, there's sugar in this too. Now, let me explain to you why I'm doing the Kraft fat-free single cheeses and also the sugary barbecue sauce. Reason being is because I started off at a very good set point. We did the DEXA scan, I was around 7%. Whether that's accurate or not, all I know is I'm lean. And I gotta start with things that I can pull from. So I have to have variables. Since my carbs are already low, I want to keep them around 100 grams, and fat's relatively low. I wanted to have the Kraft fat-free cheeses in there just to maybe hold water, just to add in a little bit more calories, but without adding fat. I also wanted to start out with tilapia or tilapia. Obviously, I don't like that fish. It's a low-quality fish, but it actually has a higher fat per ounce than something like a cod or a sole or orange roughy or shrimp. So I wanted to start out at the beginning with a little bit of a fattier white fish, even though it's still low fat, and chicken as well. I would usually do turkey, but once again, turkey is actually leaner per ounce than chicken. So I want to have these variables out the gate, to starting out, so I can have things to pull from if I stall. And of course, my goal here, guys, is to further lean out and get as lean as possible, and also hopefully accrue muscle with the experimentation of 500 milligrams of primobolan, which is going to go over the TRT. So 500 milligrams of primobolan, it should be good to go from turkey, all that good stuff. So that is the first phase of my diet, and it's going to change on the spot, because if I start dropping too much weight, my metabolism's cranked up or whatever, I'm going to have to make some changes as I go, and we're going to keep you guys posted whether I add in a second refeed during the week, because Saturday we do have our refeed, which is either sushi, or I might actually start doing and documenting it for you guys. For example, do a Saturday load on just all potato products. Record my weight, my feelings, my digestion, the weight afterwards, and also I might do a week of just rice products, and then I might do a week of junk as far as the Saturday load, and I'll document everything for you guys, do pictures and my feedback as well. So I really want to be as thorough as possible, and this is the beginning of the Experiment Series version 2. Thanks. Also, to add on the 15 minutes of bleachers in the morning, I've also been doing 15 minutes of HIIT cardio on my spin cycle at night. So it's been 30 minutes of cardio a day. Once again, I can titrate that, lower it or higher it depending on my results and what I'm seeing. Not to mention, my wife Rachel, I got her on board too. She hasn't done a solid, regimented, written out diet in 5 years or more. It's 2012. I thought it was even more than that. So she's decided to come on board because she's been kind of winging it like me, eyeballing things and doing common sense diet, but to really get results the way we want to get them, the way I want to get them, the way she now wants to really tone up, you have to get things crunched down, weigh it on a scale, crunch numbers. So I have her on board. We're going to keep track of her diet too. I think I have her eating more than she ever has, because I want to start off from a high set point once again, to kind of get her metabolism going. So we're going to record her stuff as well. She did a DEXA scan. I think she was, do you mind if I say, Rach, what it is?
We can just get
you
the
look great.
DEXA
Doesn't
scan
matter.
later.
Doesn't matter. She was 20% or 21, but she looks, obviously she looks
I think
leaner.
I was more like 20, almost 22.
Anyway, that's a starting point. So we're going to do the DEXA scans on her as well. Mine was 7% at like 238. I've already dropped to like 233 from this diet, so I might have to increase my calories. So we're going to do a DEXA with me mid-cycle, blood work mid-cycle, and then of course after the cycle to see the results. I'm doing arm measurements, guys. I'm doing my thigh measurements, calf, everything is recorded pre, and everything's going to be as documented as possible. Also, for the True Nutrition products, I always represent True Nutrition. I have my own company, NPA Subs, but for protein, guys, go to truenutrition.com. My code is MATTP. I think it's all capitals, MATTP. And we're going to keep you guys posted on mine and Rachel's results.
Like Matt said, I get up at like 5:40, and then we go do bleachers at 6. Get home, I have my first meal. I kind of switched these two. So I have my least favorite meal, my scoop of whey isolate and English muffin. I just don't do well with the isolate. It just takes me a while to choke it down.
You like the lemon cake though from True Nutrition?
Yeah, I do like the lemon cake from True Nutrition. But I get that down, and then I have my English muffin.
Your English muffin's blueberry?
Right now.
Jealous.
But Matt defrosted some chicken in the fridge, like on top of it, and it's all moisture now, so I'm gonna buy a new one. Then I answer a few emails, and I go to Pure Barre. It's kind of like a Pilates, but more upbeat. Pure Barre is awesome. I recommend it to anybody. I get home from Pure Barre and I have my next meal. That is 1.5 cups of egg whites, which is a lot for me, and 2 slices of Dave's Killer bread, the 21 grain,
Yep.
I think. And then I usually do my egg whites in the pan and just make it like a pancake and put syrup, sugar-free syrup all over it. Then we work out. And after our workout,
You take your insulin pre-workout for your intro drink?
I don't take any insulin. We work out about 12 or 1, and then after that I have my meal 3. Try to have it around 2, maybe slightly afterwards. 4 ounces of chicken and 2 slices of Dave's Killer bread, and I have like lettuce and tomato and onion in there. That's my favorite meal. So
Sandwich.
I make my little sandwich, and next meal would be at 5 o'clock, and now I'm done working out. So I've done all 3 working out things in a row. My Pure Barre class is an hour, our training's an hour. So then I have the 4 ounces of chicken and 1 to 2 cups of any vegetable. A lot of the vegetables are just bloating me right now, like Brussels sprouts and I haven't done asparagus.
Asparagus is usually good.
Brussels sprouts and broccoli. So I think I'm going to switch to asparagus and green beans. Then at 8 o'clock, I eat my next meal, 1.5 cups of egg whites. And I do that the same, usually with syrup, or I add vegetables like mushrooms and onions and cook it to scramble it together. And then I do like this meal, my last meal before bed. It says to eat it at 9:30, but sometimes we're just behind. I had a lot of doctor's appointments this week, so I'm usually eating it around 10:30 or 11 before bed. That's 2 Carb Masters yogurts. The Carb Masters yogurts are Kroger, so you can get them at like Fred Meyer or Smith's.
Watch my 2014 videos. Eat the shit
Yeah,
out
so
of it.
he eats a lot of them then. So they're just low carb and low fat. It's kind of like a whey isolate protein almost.
It's like
And
a
the
milk-
flavors
a
are
milk
pretty
protein.
decent. They don't taste as amazing as regular yogurt, but they're still pretty good. That's it. That's where I'm at.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. We'll keep everyone posted on her results too.
Time to work out.
Just so everyone knows, the totals for right now, very high, very different from last time. 493 grams of protein, 103 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of fat. That is currently. That could change at any time. All right, guys, just to add some extra calories, but without adding a bunch of fat or carbs, on leg day or back day, I'm gonna have my MPA low-fat, low-carb pizza. It's a high-protein pizza. It's actually pretty damn cool, but yeah, it does use a lot of cute food that's not so natural, a little bit artificial. So I'm gonna tell you what this is. It looks pretty amazing, man. It tastes pretty good too for what it is. All it is for the crust, 1 can of canned chicken breast, okay? Stuff's kind of gross, but to be honest with you, whenever you put it into this crust and get it nice and toasted in the oven, it's good. So it's canned chicken breast, a fat-free shredded cheddar cheese, and then a little bit of egg whites. You mix it all together. That forms the crust at the bottom here. Then after that, I layer on some fat-free pizza sauce from Trader Joe's. Layer that on. Then I add some more fat-free cheese over the top. And then I take actually my real chicken breast that I cook on the barbecue, put that on top. Now this is low fat, low carb, but the protein's gigantic here. So the grand total is 105 grams of protein, only 6 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of fat, which are coming from just the chicken breast, because it's 1 gram of fat per ounce. That's what I'm doing every Wednesday or Thursday, depending on my leg day or my back day, just to bump up some calories and recovery without adding too much carbs and fat. So there's a little MPA trick of the trade there. And I also do an MPA low-fat pizza with carbs, and we'll actually use a low-fat crust. But this right here is midweek, and it is without carbs or fat. I wanted to show the final outcome sliced up. I added some sriracha. You can add Tabasco, whatever. But I just want to mention that this actually is really damn good for someone dieting that's super hungry. It's obviously not like a real pizza, but it does taste pretty amazing. It's something I wouldn't have a lot of my pre-contest clients do unless they are genetically a drier person. They don't hold water. They can have some variables like this in there. But for me, and I'm not doing a show, this is actually a pretty cool high-calorie meal without adding a bunch of fat and carbs. So it's pretty cool, guys. The texture is actually pretty amazing. It does seem kind of like a carbohydrate, and it's simply chicken breast and cheese all glued together from the oven. So there it is.